Welcome to the Deep Dive, your shortcut to being truly well-informed. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on something pretty fundamental to how we buy almost anything. Yet, it's often invisible, right? How products actually get from the maker to, well, to you. Let's kick things off with a really great story. Think way back, Maine, 1911. Leon Wood Bean, he's the founder of LL Bean, of course. He gets back from hunting, his feet are cold, they're damp, and he has this idea that stitch leather tops onto rubber bottoms for a better boot. So he sends out this little flyer, makes a big promise, 100% satisfaction guaranteed.
Yeah.
But then disaster, kind of. Of the first 100 pairs he sold, 90 came back.
90. Wow.
Yeah, the tops had literally separated from the bottoms. Now, most people might have just given up then.
Absolutely.
But Bean, he honored that guarantee, refunded everyone, fixed the design, and that built incredible trust, right? Became the foundation of the brand. But ironically, that same guarantee, it eventually became a huge problem. People started abusing it, returning super worn out stuff, things they bought secondhand even.
Oh, boy.
It cost them over $250 million in just 5 years.
Ooh.
They had to change it, finally. 1 year limit, need a receipt. Caused a bit of an uproar, actually.
That story, it really drives home a key point, doesn't it? You can have the best product idea, create amazing value, but if you can't actually deliver that value effectively, well, it kind of falls apart. It's why, holistic marketers look beyond just the product itself. They examine the whole supply chain, think of it as a value network. Every single link matters, from way back with the suppliers, all the way through to your experience as the end customer.
Exactly. And that's really our mission for this deep dive. We're going to unpack marketing channels and market logistics. We're drawing heavily on the latest edition of Kotler, Keller, and Chernev's Marketing Management, a foundational text. We'll cover what channels are, why they're so vital, how companies design and manage them, and even, how they deal with the conflicts that inevitably pop up.
Always conflicts.
Always conflicts.
Yeah.
So by the end, you'll have a much clearer picture of these complex pathways with real examples to connect it all. Let's jump in.
Okay, so maybe the first big question is, why bother with intermediaries at all? Why don't producers just sell directly? Well, the simple truth is, most just can't. They often lack the financial muscle or the specific know-how. I mean, imagine Wrigley trying to set up corner shops for gum everywhere.
Impossible.
Or Ford trying to run thousands of dealerships itself. It's just not practical. Intermediaries, wholesalers, retailers, they bring incredible efficiency. They have the contacts, the experience, the specialization, the scale, really, to make goods widely available in a way a single producer usually can't. And choosing your channel, it's not some minor tactical thing. It impacts everything else.
Like pricing.
Absolutely. Pricing looks totally different if you're selling via, say, a high-end boutique versus an online discounter. Same for your Salesforce training, your advertising. It all connects back to who your channel partners are. These are big, long-term commitments. You really have to get them right.
Makes sense. So when we talk about these marketing channels or distribution channels, what are we actually defining? Basically, they're sets of interdependent organizations. They all work together somehow to get a product or service ready for you to use or buy. They're the pathways, really. And within these pathways, you've got different kinds of players. First, you have merchants. Think wholesalers, retailers. These guys actually buy the goods. They take ownership. Take title is the term.
Yeah.
And then they resell them.
They hold the inventory risk.
Exactly. Then you've got agents, brokers, manufacturers, reps. They're like matchmakers. They find customers, negotiate deals for the producer, but crucially, they don't take ownership.
Right.
And finally, facilitators. These are your support crew. Trucking companies, warehouses, banks, ad agencies. They help the process along, but they don't own the goods or negotiate the sales. Essential, but behind the scenes. And it's easy to just think, okay, they move boxes. But they do so much more. There are like 9 key functions channel members perform. They gather information, what customers want, what competitors are doing. They develop persuasive communications, marketing. They negotiate terms. They place orders back to the manufacturer. They often finance the inventories they hold. They assume risks. What if stuff doesn't sell? They handle payments, provide buyer financing sometimes, and oversee the actual ownership transfer. It's a lot.
And what's really interesting about these functions, 3 things stand out. 1, they all use up scarce resources, time, money, people. 2, they usually benefit from specialization. Someone can probably do each function better or cheaper than someone else. And 3, critically, these functions can be shifted around. Who does what isn't fixed. Figuring out the most efficient way to divide these tasks, that's key to the final price you pay. You can kind of visualize this as different flows moving through the channel. There's the obvious physical flow, their actual goods moving, then title flow, who owns it when, payment flow, money going back up the chain, information flow, data moving both ways, which is huge now, and promotion flow, the marketing messages.
And information and promotion can definitely go both ways.
Absolutely. And understanding who manages each flow, well, that shapes the whole channel strategy. If an intermediary handles something more efficiently, it should mean lower prices for the consumer. And hey, if you do some of the work yourself, like picking up an online order in store, you often get a better price for it, right?
Right. Okay, so thinking about how these channels are structured, we often talk about channel levels. It's just the number of intermediaries between the producer and you, the final customer. The simplest is the zero-level channel, direct marketing. Manufacturers sell straight to you. Think mail order, online stores like Dell.com, DB shopping channels, even door-to-door sometimes.
Or company-owned stores.
Exactly. Like Apple stores. When they launched back in 2001, people were skeptical, a computer company opening retail stores. But Apple wanted this dynamic retail experience.
And they certainly created one.
Didn't they?
Yeah.
Now, over 500 stores, millions of visitors, you can touch the products, get help at the Genius Bar. The staff are trained to solve problems, not just sell boxes. It's a masterclass in direct selling.
Then you have a one-level channel, usually just one intermediary, typically a retailer. Producer sells to retailer, retailer sells to you. A two-level channel adds another layer, often a wholesaler. Producer to wholesaler, wholesaler to retailer, retailer to you.
And in some markets, like food distribution in Japan, you can see even more levels, maybe 4, 5, 6.
But generally, the more levels you add, the less control the producer has, and the harder it is to get good market feedback. And this isn't just for stuff you buy at the store. B2B channels have similar structures. Manufacturers might use their own sales force, or industrial distributors, or manufacturers' reps. Oh, and another important type, reverse flow channels.
For returns and recycling.
Exactly, taking things back. Reusing containers, refurbishing products for resale, recycling materials, proper disposal. Think bottle return depots or electronics recycling programs.
Okay, now here's where it gets really interesting for modern businesses. Multi-channel distribution. This is using 2 or more channels to reach different customer segments, even in the same area. Like HP, they might use their direct sales team for big companies, telemarketing for mid-sized ones, and their website for certain products.
Or Disney, selling movies through Netflix, Best Buy, Amazon, and their own Disney Plus service. That's multi-channel.
And the upsides are pretty clear, right? You get wider market coverage. Often, you lower your channel costs overall. Selling online or via catalog can be way cheaper for reaching smaller customers than using salespeople. And you can tailor your approach, customize the selling strategy for different groups.
The big trade-off, though, conflict and control. When you have multiple channels potentially chasing the same customers, things can get messy. You need really careful management. Remember Dyla Mattress? They tried expanding into physical stores, but picked poor locations, didn't get enough traffic, created friction with their established phone and online sales. It's tricky.
Yeah, it definitely is. But get it right, and wow, Nordstrom found their multi-channel customers spend 4 times as much.
4 times.
Yeah. And look at REI. They're masters of seamless integration. You're in the store, items out of stock, use the kiosk, order it online right there, reading an article on their website. It might link you to an in-store event or promotion.
They drive traffic both ways, store to web, web to store. It's really smart, boosts overall sales.
Speaking of that integration, a huge challenge, especially for brick-and-mortar retailers, is showrooming. You go into a store, check out a product, touch it, feel it.
Then pull out your phone and buy it cheaper online.
Exactly. Smartphones make it trivially easy.
Oh, it's a massive headache for traditional retailers. What do? Well, many like Best Buy and Target just decided to match online prices permanently. Take that reason away.
Bold move.
Others, like Walmart or Macy's, focused on linking the channels. Buy online, pick up in-store, or return online orders easily at a physical store. Make it convenient. And interestingly, they're also trying to make the in-store experience better, more valuable. You see companies like Guess or PacSun giving staff iPads to show more product info, offer styling tips, make the store visit worthwhile beyond just seeing the product.
And sometimes, weirdly, shifting a sale from the store to online can actually be better for the retailer.
How so?
Well, if the alternative is the customer walking out and buying from Amazon, keeping the sale within your own ecosystem, even if it's online, is a win. It's about retaining that customer relationship. Okay, so let's shift gears slightly. If you're a company, how do you actually design the right distribution system? Well, the process usually starts with really analyzing what your customers need and want from the channel. Then you set clear objectives. What are you trying to achieve? specific price points, wide assortment, maximum convenience, what kind of shopping experience. Only then do you start looking at the actual channel alternatives.
And the product itself heavily influences this. Bulky items like building materials, you need channels that minimize shipping. Complex products needing installation, like custom machinery, usually direct sales or specialized dealers. Non-standard items, often direct sales too. High unit value, maybe fewer, more controlled outlets. Plus, you've got the whole economic situation, legal constraints, like anti-monopoly laws preventing overly restrictive channel setups. It all feeds in.
Right. And a key decision then becomes, how many intermediaries do you actually use? This leads to three main strategies. First, exclusive distribution. You severely limit the number of intermediaries. Think new cars or high-fashion brands like Gucci. They famously pulled out of discount stores to maintain that exclusive image.
The idea is you get more knowledgeable, dedicated selling effort from those few partners.
Exactly. Second, selective distribution. You use some intermediaries, but not all who are willing. A great example is SDIHL Power Equipment. They deliberately avoid the big box stores like Lowe's or Home Depot.
Right, they run ads about that.
They do. They emphasize their network of over 8,000 independent servicing dealers as a key strength. We don't just sell it, we service it.
Builds loyalty with those dealers too.
For sure. And third, intensive distribution. Put the product everywhere possible. Snack foods, soft drinks, newspapers. Maximum convenience and availability is the goal.
But the risk there, if you're not careful, is fierce price competition between all those outlets. Now, speaking of scaling distribution, we absolutely have to talk about franchising. It's become such a dominant model for growth. There are basically three characteristics. One, the franchisor owns a trademark and licenses it, think McDonald's Golden Arches. Two, the franchisee pays for the right to be part of the system. For McDonald's, that initial investment can be well over $1.5 million.
Wow.
And three, the franchisor provides a whole system training, like Hamburger University, marketing support, operational procedures.
It really can be a win-win, can't it?
Yeah.
Franchisors get these highly motivated entrepreneurs running the local outlets, people who often know the community well. Plus, they get capital from the franchisees.
And the franchisees, they get a proven business model, instant brand recognition, easier access to funding, ongoing support, less risk than starting from scratch.
There's a fascinating turnaround story here. Popeye's Louisiana Kitchen. Back around 2007, they were really struggling. Stock price tanked.
What was the core problem?
A terrible relationship with their franchisees. Just awful. Plus, no innovation, no national advertising to speak of. The system was broken.
So, how did they fix it? Sounds like a huge challenge. Cheryl Batchelder, the CEO then, took a really collaborative approach, wasn't top-down. A key moment was getting management and franchise leaders to agree to significantly boost investment in national ads. That was huge.
Yeah, getting everyone on board.
Then they rebranded, became Popeye's Louisiana Kitchen to really lean into their heritage, spruced up the restaurant designs, and crucially, they used data analytics to help franchisees pick better, more profitable locations, often outside their traditional neighborhoods.
And the results?
Dramatic. Sales soared, franchise satisfaction shot way up, and they expanded globally. It just shows how vital that franchisor-franchise partnership is. Which brings us to motivating these partners generally. You really have to treat intermediaries like partners, not just outlets. You use positive motivators, good margins, special deals, cooperative advertising, training programs. Sometimes, companies use negative sanctions threatening to reduce margins, slow down delivery, but that often backfires, creates resentment.
Right, you want collaboration, not coercion, if possible. And this ties into the idea of channel power, the ability of one member to get another member to do something they wouldn't otherwise do. There are different flavors of this power. Coercive power using threats, reward power offering benefits, legal power based on contracts, expert power having unique, valued knowledge, and referent power when a manufacturer is so admired, like maybe a Patagonia, that retailers want to be associated with them.
That's powerful. You know, looking back, these channel relationships have really evolved. You started with conventional channels. Everyone, independent, producer, wholesaler, retailer, each just trying to maximize their own profit, often led to conflict.
Suboptimal for the system as a whole.
Exactly. Then came vertical marketing systems, or VMS. These are unified systems, can be corporate.
Yeah.
VMS, one company owns everything, like Sherwin-Williams owning its paint stores, or administered VMS coordinated by the size and power of one member, like P&G or Walmart dictating terms, or contractual VMS independent firms joining forces through contracts. And franchising is the big example here.
I see.
And you also see horizontal marketing systems, two or more unrelated companies putting resources together, like a bank putting ATMs or branches inside a supermarket.
Okay, so even with VMS and partnerships, conflict still happens. It seems almost unavoidable. Why?
Well, independent businesses just have different goals sometimes. They don't always align perfectly. A really common trigger is when a manufacturer decides to go direct sell online, open their own stores, bypassing their existing partners. Yeah, that always causes friction. Think Apple opening stores and competing with its authorized dealers, and the conflict can take different forms. Horizontal conflict is between members at the same level, like Pizza Inn franchisees complaining that other franchisees are cutting corners and hurting the brand image for everyone.
Right.
Vertical conflict is between different levels, like when Estee Lauder started selling online and department stores got upset and cut back shelf space, and multi-channel conflict is when you use multiple channels in the same market. Goodyear had this issue. They appeased their independent dealers, who were mad about Goodyear tires being sold at Sears and Walmart, by giving the dealers exclusive tire models that the mass retailers couldn't get, sort of a way to reduce direct price competition. What causes it? Often, it boils down to a few things. Goal incompatibility: manufacturer wants market share via low prices, dealer wants high margins, different strategies or perceptions of reality. Power imbalances: think Walmart demanding huge discounts from suppliers, and just unclear roles and rights, who's supposed to do what, who gets which customers.
So if conflict is bound to happen, how do you manage it? You can't eliminate it entirely. Well, there are mechanisms. Strategic justification, explaining why a new channel serves a different segment, trying to convince partners it won't hurt them much. Allstate did this, paying agents a commission even if a customer bought online but used the agent for service later.
Softens the blow.
Exactly. Dual compensation pays existing channels for sales made through new ones, setting superordinate goals that everyone agrees on, like fighting a common competitor. You can also try employee exchange swap staff between levels to build understanding, joint memberships in associations. Co-optation: bring channel leaders onto advisory boards.
And if that fails?
Then you move to more formal stuff: diplomacy, mediation, arbitration, or, the last resort, legal recourse. Okay, shifting from the channel relationships to the actual movement of goods. Let's talk market logistics. This is basically planning the infrastructure and then implementing and controlling the physical flow of materials and finished goods. From origin to point of use, meeting customer needs at a profit.
And this idea has broadened into supply chain management, SCM. It's a bit wider. SCM includes sourcing the inputs, converting them efficiently, then dispatching them. It's about finding superior suppliers, boosting productivity all along the chain, cutting costs. You hear about companies like Apple, Amazon, P&G having world-class supply chains. And a really key point here: the goal isn't just get the right stuff to the right place at the right time for the lowest cost. That's too simple.
Why?
Because maximizing service, like super fast delivery or holding huge inventory, costs more. You have to balance service levels and costs. The smart way is to make decisions on a total system basis. Optimize the whole thing for profit, not just minimize one cost element like transport.
Makes sense. So within market logistics, what are the big decisions firms have to make? Well, there are four main areas. First, order processing. How orders come in, how they're handled, how billing works. You want to shorten that order-to-payment cycle. Faster is usually better for everyone. Second, warehousing. Where do you store the goods? How many warehouses? We're seeing trends like decentralizing retailers like Nordstrom using their stores as mini fulfillment centers for online orders. Speeds up delivery, but costs more in warehousing.
Versus centralizing in huge automated warehouses to cut costs, relying on fast shipping.
Third, inventory. How much stock should you hold? This is a constant balancing act. Hold too little, you risk stockouts on popular items, lose sales. Hold too much, your carrying costs, storage, insurance, obsolescence go through the roof.
Can be like 30% of inventory value, those carrying costs.
Yeah. So companies need to figure out the optimal order point, when to reorder, and how much to order each time, the economic order quantity, or EOQ, to balance ordering costs and carrying costs.
And this leads right into just-in-time, or JIT, inventory. For ages, JIT was the gold standard for efficiency. Keep inventory super lean, get supplies just as you need them, huge cost savings.
But then
the pandemic hit, and JIT's big weakness was exposed. It assumes everything runs smoothly. Uninterrupted logistics. When global supply chains jammed up, JIT systems collapsed. Shortages everywhere, massive delays.
So what's the reaction been?
Companies are rethinking it. building more resilience, securing more warehouse space, maybe holding a bit more safety stock, diversifying suppliers, investing in better forecasting and modernization.
Hedging their bets, basically.
Okay, and the fourth major logistics decision, transportation. How do you actually ship the stuff? You choose between modes, rail, air, truck, water, pipeline, based on speed, cost, reliability, capability, availability. We've also seen huge growth in containerization, putting goods in standard boxes that can easily move between modes.
Piggyback, fishy back. Right, piggyback, truck and rail, fishy back, water and truck, train ship, air truck, combining modes for efficiency.
Right.
And companies choose between using their own trucks, private carrier, dedicated providers, contract carrier, or services available to anyone, common carrier.
And the quest for efficiency here is just relentless. Some examples are amazing. Maersk, the giant shipping line, built these colossal ships carrying 18,000 containers that cut CO2 emissions by 50%.
Yeah.
Huge scale efficiency. Schneider, the trucking company, uses a tactical simulator for routing, saved them tens of millions.
Wow.
And maybe my favorite. UPS figured out that switching drivers from keys to electronic fobs saved just 1.7 seconds per stop. Sounds tiny, right?
Tiny.
Estimated annual savings, $70 million.
Get out. From 1.7 seconds.
It just shows how crucial optimizing every little detail in logistics can be.
So wrapping this all up, what's the big picture? It's clear that these pathways, these distribution channels and logistics systems, they're incredibly complex. They're not static things set in stone. They're dynamic, constantly changing, reacting to technology, consumer habits, global events, everything. Companies have to continually rethink how they not only create value, but how they effectively deliver it and capture it.
Absolutely. And that leaves us with a thought to chew on, maybe, as companies get better and better at blending their online and offline worlds, that omni-channel experience. How does the physical store need to evolve even further? How can it stay truly essential, maybe even indispensable, when digital convenience just keeps getting better and competition keeps intensifying? What's the next transformation for the physical retail space?
Something to think about. That's all for this deep dive. Thank you for joining us.